Cancer, how you doing, guys? So this is your twin versus twin, your soulmate relationship or twin flame or whichever journey you're on, but you versus them. Okay, left and right side, left and right, going from left and right. But during the pre-shuffle, you did have Sagittarian energy and the Aquarius energy. Okay, so show me Cancer for. So a 10 of Wands. So it might be moving. It's obviously you can't see where you're going yet in order because there is such a burden in order to continue on this path that you're on. Obviously life in general, so this can be just life in general, just where the energy is very heavy at the moment. The energy is pretty heavy. It's difficult for somebody to continue to go forward, but it seems like they are. It might have a lot to do with moving house or moving home for a lot of people also, and this would what the soulmate would be going through. So through these readings we go through what you're going through, what they're going through, okay? And then you can pick. But someone's picking someone because they're continuing, they're continuing to go forward on this path regardless. It's carry on regardless. Well, we have to carry on with life regardless. So whatever that is, that might be to do with a move, it's extremely heavy for me to transport all this transportation, all this plans that I need to make are getting on someone's nerves where they're continuing to go forward regardless. So let's see. So show me the other person for Cancer. Show me Cancer's partner. Oh my god, that was a cat, and that's my dog. Cat and dog, playing cat and mouse. So I just heard that was a cat, that was a dog. Cat and dog, cat and mouse is just what I heard. Cat and mouse. Someone's scared is what I'm picking up. Someone just got startled. So through synchronicities, somebody just got startled and it caused some kind of chaos of a commotion that may have happened in the home life. So it might be neighbours is what I'm picking up. Neighbours within the neighbourhood. Something strange in my neighbourhood. Sorry. But something strange is happening in someone's neighbourhood. And that might be why I'm picking up noise. I'm picking up there might be a lot of noise around this person's energy. So static of interference of obviously karma. Okay. So we have that obviously. So they pretty much may have come from something traumatic, and it might have been, it can be PTSD and all that kind of thing. Some people might go through that, but I think through soulmate relationships and energy, we all kind of go through some kind of traumatic experience in life anyway. So if it is a traumatic experience, it might be around someone's neighbourhood or their family circle, because this is a circle, okay? So the circle of this person here, it might be that the fact that some of them literally have to move. And because they know they have to move, I'm feeling that some people know that they've got a hell of a lot of luggage to move, and that's what's keeping them undecided of whether to end it or whether to continue. So if we look at this in a relationship factor, it's undecided of whether it's going to yet finish or continue on this same cycle. So this person is in contemplating mode of, shall I continue on or shall I not? Shall I actually lighten my load to come and see you and kind of tell family, friends, all that kind of thing? Shall I tell them about this experience and literally come towards this energy here? So let's see. But something strange in the neighbourhood, because I picked up those synchronicities, yeah, and I'm going cold, that there is something to do with obviously someone's family life, which is very stressful for somebody to continue to go forward. Because they've come from a 9, it might mean that they have some kind of family dynamic that's going on that's leaving them very, very stressful. But at the good point is that it's come to a completion of that. So there would be something that's discovered through this energy of why the feeling feels so heavy at the moment. If that's to do with work, then it's obviously work is very stressful for this person, and that they've got a lot of family to look after, friends to look after, but I'm picking up as family. They're trying to look after their family and their well-being more, because there might have been some kind of interference through retrograde that everybody's experienced. Everybody goes through their own karma, so that would also relate to their friends, their family, all that kind of stuff. And because of that, it's now reached the pinnacle point of whether to continue or not. So show me the other person for Cancer. Sorry if I'm a little nasally, but it's very early in the UK at the moment, so I've not been up that long. Show me the other person for Cancer. So we're writing Venus for August. We'll take that one. So I have been promoting this just lately because this is very true anyway. Okay, Steve Cartman drama triangle. So when we go through past life regression, what we realise is the best thing to do is purge out. So what we do is we purge it out to friends and family. Okay, so sometimes this is a scapegoat, the aggressor, and the victim gets that much blame to put onto the from the aggressor, that actually the victim becomes overburdened, okay, and work becomes very hard for them, and then they get stressed out, and then they take it out on their family and things like that. Or if there is a third party interference, you feel that energy because this person here, or you, is the conduit to an experience of energy of realizing that you're open. So like open university. So some of you can also relate to open university, studying, something like that. Okay, if it relates back again, because there's a lot of work here, there's a lot of work to be done karmically between you and your person. So regardless of the factor, if there is an interference of past retrograde system, it leads to where you realise why you can't forget this person, say here, if this is you. Okay, you can't forget them, they can't forget you, but they can't forget the other person. And because of society, of each person's wheel of fortune that goes around and around, which also would relate to family, work, stress, situations, higher learning, education, past life regression, purging out, keeping things all locked in. It's all locked in through retrograde of what we learn through past life regression of why you would blame one for another. So this person here could blame this person here for this person being with them. You see? And this is how a Steve Cartman drama triangle starts to really form shape, where you can do it for a very long time because it's concreted in until you learn. Okay, so you come from the Two of Pentacles of actually making a decision to actually study. So you might be esoteric, watching tarot card readings, anything like that, weighing up your options, your decisions. Shall I continue on this path with this person? Shall I not? Are they involved with somebody else? If you're getting very confused at the moment, trust me, you really will be very confused if you are stuck in this drama triangle, because it is past life. That's why it's the Three of Pentacles. It's you can get very overburdened and very stressed. And when we go into this chasing and running and the wanting and the needing and the yearning and the feeling that it creates through this, just what the hell is this connection? I just can't continue on forward, but I have to. So I have to continue to go forward because I've done it for a long period of time. So when time starts to go forward and forward and forward, you start to realise, fuck, I've actually been doing this for a long time, but why can I still not forget this person? Because you have karma with them. You have past life karma with them, okay? So say if you meet, this person has met somebody at work, if they've met somebody at work, say, that they work with, you can start to then, say, have a flirting, teasing energy with them, and then they can also be with somebody else, okay? So it depends if it goes on the metaphysical or physical level. But if somebody's with somebody at work, there's a lot of work is what I'm picking up. It's a lot of work to do karmically with this person that you're with. And I think they realise it. But because they've been contemplating and thinking about how stuck they are on you, because you're both stuck on each other like glue, whether it be a good situation or a bad situation, you're still stuck on each other like glue. And it's like, oh God, it's just all so heavy at the moment. Work is really heavy at the moment. Trying to come out of social anxiety probably is a little bit is very stressful at the moment. I've really got to work on myself, and I've really got to work with other people. But at the same time, it's very difficult for me to do that because it's just family life and things like that, and my society is really structured of where somebody is. Somebody's society of belief or religion is very strong here. This is a very strong commitment to something that they're doing. You know, whatever that be in society or a public eye or a public motivational speaker or anything like that, they are fixed where that's their written path to do that, because this is written law, it's karmic law, it's written under the Sanskrit, it's a Sanskrit, it's the word of God. It relies in the tomb, or it relies in the church or anything like that, because it's religious, okay? So somebody could be religious and spiritual at the same time. So as the story unfolds, we start to gather more on what energy is what, okay? But if you've not seen these readings before, I've been through many a soulmate connection, okay? And what you learn is a higher learning, but what you learn through society and going through these experiences in life, okay, is the fact that you continue to do it regardless. This is carrying on regardless. But you learn that everything is a show and tell in life. Everything tells itself to you as you continue to do it more, okay? So the more you continue to do it, you realise more about your own energy. So you realise that people in society and like family members and stuff, they also show you loads more than what you actually don't see. That's because it's your karma. That's because you have family karma, you have karma at work, you have it everywhere that you go, you live and breathe. The future's not yet meant for you because it's not met you. You have to meet the future at the same time as the future meets you, so you can live presently, so you can manifest what I have now. What I have now. Okay, so what I have now is this card. Okay, which is work. A lot of it at the moment, Cancer. You know. But let's see. So tell me more about this 10 of... Wow, so there you go. So I think there is kind of progression, because you either go from a 1 to a 7, or you go from a 10 to a 7. So someone's obviously drawn a line in the sand, but they're still carrying the burden. So it might mean that this is a 1 and they've dropped that burden because it's an 8, you know, which is that the communication at the moment is very defensive. Somebody's very defensive through the communication. So if you are on this soulmate twin flame journey and your partner is with somebody else, okay, which does happen with soulmate relationships, if they are, it might be because you're really wanting communication from them, but because it's probably not at this particular time, you realise that the communication is blocked. So someone is blocking the communication, whoever that be. They're blocking the communication, because this is blocking something, feeling defensive and guarded, offensive, defensive, okay, because the energy is so strong, but I'm not feeling a great energy at the moment. The reason of that is because this person is just saying, fuck it, there's a line in the sand, you've crossed a path, you have literally crossed, someone's just crossed your path also. They've either made you cross, or they've just literally crossed your path. For some, is what I picked up. They've just crossed your path at work. You may have just met someone at work, or they crossed your path at work and that's where you met. Or you met on a tarot channel, or you met somewhere where you was publicly speaking, or at work at a conference. This would also be a conference or a meeting. There was a meeting, but it led where the communication was more offensive than there's more of a defense and offense through the 7, because 7 is like family, it's everybody, okay, it's everybody. So this person could be very esoteric, could be, but what they're listening to is society and family and people. So family comes first, obviously. People, you know, that's what we listen to, because it's either I don't want to give my opinions for that, because nothing in life is perfect, you know, because everything requires a sacrifice from a 9. There has to be a sacrificial part of something in order to reach a 10. So everybody has to let go of something for something to begin, so you can manifest positivity, okay? When there's not positivity in our life, we realise that we have to move away from negative to make a positive outlook for ourselves, okay? Self. So through that self-progression, someone could be through this past life regression, and that's what might be making this connection at the moment very difficult for someone to continue this burden, because if it is at work, what they do is that they probably see you at work or at a conference or a meeting, but it makes them feel offensive if this energy is with someone else, because the communication could be very offensive and defensive, where you talk and you argue a lot because you're asking them to leave the other person, if that is true. But this won't relate to everybody, you know. So show me more about the Three of Pentacles. Why is this 3 of Pentacles here for? Okay, this is partner for this. So yeah, there's the communication. It might be to do with children. It could well be that the person here is actually in a marriage or something with someone else, or they might be, because this could be someone getting married at church. Okay, so it might relate to like what do you call it, a fixed marriage, where someone tells people who they're going to marry or something like that. Family and religion would be like an arranged, an arranged marriage. It could be for some. So it's arranged that someone has to go through this experience. That's for some. And it might mean that because they went through this arranged marriage or something, that you have children with them as well, or they actually have children with somebody else. That's for some people. Okay. Now this person is also someone that travels for business, and that could be the meeting that they go to of conferences, or they might be religious and they travel, but I'm not really picking up so much travelling for religion. But they might be very religious. You know, I am picking that vibe up of someone that's very religious, and it could be an arranged marriage for some. Okay, if it is, then I think that they have children with that person. That's the person that they actually travel to see, is that other person. If it's not on that line, then it's more on the line of crossing a line because we have children together for some. Okay, if it's not, this person individually outside trying to give you more of a perspective of who's who, because when you're in a twin flame or soulmate relationship, you trigger. Okay, so you trigger offensive and defensive of where they can blame you for, well, you just remind me of that other person. If they are with another person, it will trigger so much stuff also through retrograde. It's like, well, you always do the same as what the other person did to me, you know, the blame game. So you blame, again, aggression, blame, project it out to the other person. It goes around. Again, you see, past life regression. It triggers people off to blame someone for their own outcomings or their own future or past. Past gives the present tense of what it is that you're actually in. And if you're in something, you project it out to somebody else. And then they take on that form and they project it onto the scapegoat that becomes aggressive, that, you know, passes it on to the to the other person. And that happens in society. That's the cogs and the chains of wheels that happen in everybody's wheel of fortune, where life gets chaotic. You know, that's why life gets chaotic, because people they have their own paths to deal with, and that's why we start to form codependency through these soulmate relationships, because there's a strong pull towards someone that you can't figure out, and why you get aggressive. You know, because why would you hate yourself? Because we're all cut from the same cloth. So why would you hate God? You wouldn't be religious if you hated yourself. You know, so that's the difficult part of that, you know, because most people listen to obviously the only fallen angel that ever hit the ground running, you know, which was the devil. So, you know, this is why we have codependency, and this is why we have parts of learning of free will. But this person could be traveling, you see, they could be a traveling salesman, is what I picked up, yeah, for some, a traveling salesman, or they just travel to see their children or something. Or, like I said, it is for work. But this person is feeling very, like, the communication's blocked, because this person is facing this way, which is away from the communication. They're facing away. There's a face-off is what I'm picking up. Face-off, which is the film. Face-off. The two actors, right? Face-off. He changed his form. He wore a mask. Sorry. He wore a mask. Somebody was wearing a mask. This can be a mask wearer. Okay, it can be, because they're covering something up. If it, like, undercover is what I'm picking up. If it is, only if it is. Okay, so, you know, just go with the story. If it relates to you, it does. But I was picking up face off, so I was picking up someone that's trying to change. Also, someone that's trying to change their job. Thank you. Someone that's trying to change their job. And if this whole story merges into your story, it's also a story. That's what I'm saying. It's yet to be unveiled and unravelled, because you learn more by society of that, well, that's really me. If you're involved with a soulmate, you will pick that up, and that's why you might get confused. That's why people need a personal reading, you know, to give you that personal experience of what you're going through. So, and you can get one of those in the description below. There is an email if you would like a personal reading. So let's tell me more about this Seven of Wands. Because it's your experience, you see, a soulmate experience. It's your experience, because that people will always tell you the lessons are always about you, and they are. you know, because it's always about I am, I, you know, I have. That's how you manifest, you know. But your experience is always you. It's always about you, because it means that unless you're thinking clearly and you don't think about them anymore, that's when law of attraction pulls them back, you know. Or if you're really thinking about them, that still happens. But when you don't think about them anymore at all, and you're not in contact at all, 20/20 on the clock, when you don't, that means that your karma's gone, and that it's not meant to be, and that you would, but you would generally feel really good about that. You would feel okay. You would feel okay in your own skin. Some people don't feel okay in their own skin, which relate to the appearance of pride, you know, because it relates to time. It relates to like time after time after time, and it's kind of like, well, when is my time up? How long do I have to go through this? Why do I have to go through this? But I really need to go through this. You see, that's the experiences that we have through these soulmate experiences. You know, they are. Welcome to being spiritually awoke. You know, it's too late. You know what you're saying? Well, fuck it, Steve. I should have took the blue pill. You know, someone. Sorry, I just heard that as well. Someone could have been taking a pill for children, like to not get pregnant, or for some, I just heard that, so they don't get pregnant. That's only for some. I don't know why I heard that. Oh dear, this person's really going through it. This person now feels very, very like they just want out. They want out of this. So if this is reflecting of this third party stuff that probably happened through retrograde, and the communication, if it was just about communication, the communication, you might have seen them as very childlike, and you're like, really? That's all you're offering me? Is just a message? That's it? Sorry, but I do channel messages, so I have to go through the experience of being a medium, you know. But if that is your story, that's like, really? All you offered me was a message? After all of this time for you to come back, all you gave me was a message for your child, or you wanted to speak to your child, but all the shit that you've done, why would you, like, you know, if that is for some people, the only message you gave me is wanting to know about a child or something around there. What about me? What about all the shit that you've done? Why would you act like such a child for some people, you know? For some. So this person now, this burden is becoming very heavy, where they're finding it really difficult to trust. They're finding it very difficult to trust. Because this person could be someone that's escaping or trying their best to escape the connection and really block the communication out from this person, is what I'm picking up. They're really trying their best to understand, as well as this other person, you know. But you wouldn't see it that way, because you would have such a dynamic duo, is what I'm picking up, like the dynamic duo. But this is like, again, really, again. This person also runs from conflict of having a great escape. This could even be a white lie. This could even be a white lie, okay? Because this person lies and cheats, but it could just literally be something as a white lie that they're keeping to themselves, that they don't want to tell their family, or that they don't want to expose, or they don't want to be overexposed. You know, someone could be in the public eye camera, but they don't want to be overexposed. So if that does relate to something to do with photography or something, I'm not sure, but somebody does not want to be overexposed, where they sometimes, the Seven of Swords could just mean there's something that they want to keep to themselves, which is the Five of Swords, which means like a liar and a cheater. But a white lie would just mean something as simple as, no, this is just something that I want to keep close to my chest. I don't want to reveal this. It's personal to me. Seven, personal to us. It's personal to us. So why should I say it? Why should I tell my family about this child? For some people, why should I tell my family, or why does everybody seem to get into this dynamic? Because of the communication or the children. So this doesn't have to be a good card, a bad card. It can be, but it can literally just be a white lie, a little white lie, is what I heard as well. But a lie that you keep to yourself. It don't mean that you're deceiving yourself or that you're lying to yourself all the time. Sometimes. So we're going to go cross comparison, but what I'm saying is about this card is that sometimes this can be someone that's trying to escape the truth. Okay, so they might be keeping things to themselves, and it might be about their children. So it might mean that they're keeping this from friends, family, society, or letting people know about this connection or this child, because you've got 2 sevens, which mean outer environment of everybody. Okay, like everybody. So it's like, really, does fucking everybody have to know? Do you literally have to go and tell everybody? This is a show and tell of someone that speaks and that they travel, but they tell everybody also. So if you're relating to your person that could be like egocentric or egotistical, or that they have a big mouth, maybe, you know, sorry, but that can be portrayed through this card because it's communication of action. Okay, so someone's actions speak loudly. So if someone's actions speak loudly, you could be saying, or cross-watcher, fucking, do you have to go and tell everybody? That might be why I was picking up on show and tell, because this is a show and tell, you know, show and tell everybody, show everybody, write messages, tell everybody. Really? You got to go and fucking tell everybody? Why have you got to go and tell everybody? Page of Wands. Too many cards. Page of Wands. It could be a traveller. Could be a traveller. Tell me what about Page of Wands. Could be a Gemini energy. Page of Wands. So yeah, about this child is really what I'm picking it up. About this child, or about this earth sign. Why is it that you have to go and tell everybody about our money situation as well? Why do you have to tell everybody about our money situation? Someone's trying to run from a mother, from another mother, is what I heard. A brother from another mother. Or a lover from another mother. Oh, that's getting heavy, Cancer. What have you got going on, guys? And you'll have to excuse me because I do channel. I do. I what's the point of me being a conduit if I can't channel, you know? Someone's across the channel, like the Channel Isles, Irish. Some of you could be Irish or have Irish heritage, Irish blood. Irish blood is what I heard. But somebody's trying to run away from this interference. Now, if there is interference, because the leading card being 3, then it's because they could be like very stuck on their children, and it's kind of like, you know, there's some kind of offensive defensiveness that's coming from a mother or a child, a mother or a child, or a family member. Or this can even be the court system for some people, and that it's being dragged through. This is someone that drags. It's like drag. Like, I'm picking up a dragging energy. Like, do I have to drag you along with me? Really? Now I've got to fucking run, and I've got to get you to chase me. But I'm picking up as a dragging energy of like dragging someone through court, or dragging this out, or like this prolonged agony is what I'm picking up. Prolonged agony. Some of you could have dental work and stuff like that, and it's agony. An agony aunt is what I heard. Agony aunt. There's an auntie, or has an auntie, or a niece or nephew or something, and it's like an agony aunt. But, you know. Or there's a person of a mother that's interfering with this connection, and you see them as an agony aunt. Like, oh God, it's such a drag. Sorry, but I'm hearing that. Or this person, will you drop this person? Or will you just drop it? Why do you need to tell everybody? That could be what you're saying about the mother. Or the other person is, why do you have to go and fucking tell everybody? Why do you have to go and tell everyone for? Because now everybody knows, and now I feel like I've got to move. Now, for some people, it's like, now I've got to move. I've got to get the fuck out of here now, because you've just gone and told everybody. There's an offensive defensive system of something that somebody's definitely said or done. This is what someone says and what they do and what the public speak about, or something that they just say, okay, or they write. But what someone's written or spoken or said, because it's all wrote and spoken, written word, through manifesting, through whatever they've done and said, this person now feels like this is an extremely, they're very defensive now through what someone's saying. Through what someone's saying. So whoever that someone is, you will relate to that, I'm sure. Yeah. So I'm actually keeping these shorter because we're all 30 minutes. Keeping these shorter, but for here. So if you've not found the channel, okay, patrons, if you want to join us over on Patreon, you obviously get access to everything, which is also I will do the water sign, fire sign, earth sign, air sign, and I'll do them all in one segment, like so all for earth, all for air, and that'll be your bi-weekly, but that might be towards the end, so the end of this month, okay, August, the end of August, the last 2 weeks or whatever time it gets, and that will just be on Patreon for everybody, and that will be like so I'll do them all at once in earth, air, fire, water. But also if you want to watch this over on Patreon, you obviously have access to literally everything, and we're going to go through here, but the rest of it comes what's coming in between you, okay, and that's where I break down all the lessons that should be learned through this, and why there's an offensive, defensive. Sometimes it picks up on the people that are interfering with connections and why the connection is failing at the moment, okay. I also add in your work and your finances and your career, and we draw it all round to one story for August. But this is you versus them. The thing of Patreon is the fact that you can watch your monthly, and then this should break this down individually for you so you can pick who's who, okay? But you can also watch it on Vimeo if you want to watch it on Vimeo. There still will be in the monthly folder, okay? And you can just watch the rest of this reading if you don't want to join Patreon. But there are options all below. The music for the intro is below, somewhere in the description below. I will add all things like that. But if you want a personal reading at the same time, there is an email that you can reach out to me and I can put you in schedule. Okay? Alright guys, so I'll hopefully see you on the other side, and we'll see what thoughts and feelings and everything that's coming in between and the answers to why and what we're trying to find out. Okay? Alright guys, peace, see you soon.